Hello, welcome to this edition of Exotic Ghana UK. On this week's episode, we're in the greenhouse looking at cucumbers, melons and bananas. So it's one of those rare days in 2025 where it's actually raining outside. We've had lots of rain yesterday, a month's rain in one day, and today it's been pretty overcast and it's coming down sort of drizzly at the moment. So we're in the greenhouse keeping dry, and I thought I'd take this opportunity to show you the few plants that I still have in the greenhouse and how they're doing, because there is a plant that's doing especially well and I'm really happy it's come back after a few years of looking decidedly unwell, but we'll be looking at that more in a moment. But first, let's look at the cucumbers and the melons, because I normally grow these, and these are exotic plants in terms of they're very tender. You can't get these through winter at all in the UK, and they have big long vines basically, and they have fruit that we can eat. Got the cucumbers, got the melons, and cucumbers have been fantastic this year. So let's have a closer look at the one that I'm growing. So let's have a look at the melon, and if you remember from my What Am I Growing in 2025 video, the seeds I got from Chiltern Seeds, and this is a Melon F1 Hybrid Alvaro. I've got 3 seeds in the packet, they all germinated and they've all grown really well. Super healthy. Look at the foliage on that, super green, no blemishes, no yellowing leaves or anything like that, and lots of flowers. So we've got, the male and the female flowers, but it's F1 hybrid and it should be self-fertile. And we've had the flowers now since early June, and we're into mid-July now, and I was hoping to see some actual melons form, but so far I've seen no real melons form. But in the last few days I have seen some of the female flowers sort of develop, and we've got the mini beginnings of a melon. So let's have a closer look at that now. So there we are, the development, or the start development of the first melon. And look how small it is. I'll just put my finger by the side of it, so we're only talking like a centimetre across. That is the start of a melon, and we've got a long season ahead. Rest of July, all of August into September, so we should see that melon develop. And when it does, when it gets bigger and bigger, I'll be supporting that with a net, because it is a scrambling plant. This is climbing up towards the top of the greenhouse and across the supports and railings up there as well. But this is the first little melon we've got in 2025, and hopefully we'll have more as well as we look around the plant. Let's just have another look around so you can see how the plant's scrambling up there, all the way up into the top of the greenhouse and all the way around here as well. Lots of beautiful foliage on this, lots of flowers. We just don't have many melons yet. But that's not the case for the plant next to it, which is the cucumbers. And I grew this year from seed a cucumber called Mini Munch, and it's a very prolific cucumber. Loads and loads of foliage, really healthy green on this, no bugs attacking it, no red spider mite or anything like that. And it's fantastic to see these growing really well up in the greenhouse, and I've used bamboo canes from my own garden as supports so that it can grow right up there as well. And we've had loads and loads of cucumbers. So let's just move the camera. Sorry for that camera work here. And we'll have a look, and I cut a lot off yesterday, but if we look down there, there's a cucumber. That is a full size one. They're called Mini Munch because they're just like picnic size, so you can get 1 cucumber per person per meal really. So that is about 6 inches, and it's a good size. Like I said, you can just pick them off. There we are, beautiful fresh cucumbers. And I've had probably about 20-25 already just off these 3 or 4 plants, and there's loads more. There's loads forming, and I've actually, oh, there's a big one I've missed over there as well. So I've got loads more cucumbers to pick, and these will keep on going for many, many months, all the way, you know, till the days get very dark in autumn into October. And before, obviously, it won't be frosty in the greenhouse, but plants will slow down as the days get shorter. So from free plants, like I said, we've had about 25 so far, and I expect we'll get many more as well. So the pots I'm using, if we have a look under the foliage there, is a tomato pot. So it's sort of a square pot. It's about 25-30 centimetres tall, about 15-20 centimetres across. I'm watering from the bottom, keeping the reservoir at the base, and the roots have filled those pots, and it's meant I've got some really nice, healthy, strong plants. So I'm really, really pleased with the melons so far and the cucumbers. And the thing I'm most pleased about, which I'll show you next, is a banana. So I've quickly gone over the plant and I found another 6 cucumbers. I thought I got them all yesterday, but I found another 6 ready to eat, because these are very, very tasty little cucumbers. So I said it's a banana. Well, it's a banana relative. This is the Ensete banana, or the false banana, and this particular type is Ensete ventricosum hiniba, the very upright green banana with the sort of blush underneath on the newest leaves as well. Very hard to get hold of, and it's a plant I've had and propagated for over 10 years now, and I'm really pleased to say I've got a nice healthy specimen, because if you've watched my videos last year and the year before, you may have noticed that some of the, well, all of the hinibas I had and my other bananas had sort of marks along the leaves. So we had sort of like dead patches or yellowy brown patches. So really, you know, not looking too good. Even though the foliage was still coming out, we had those issues. Even on the newest leaves, it wasn't like an aging issue. And we've had this especially acute on the hiniba bananas that I've had. So it looked really unwell for probably 2 or 3 years now. But last year, I really took notice of it, and I saw the change and how most of them looked really, really bad. And I made the decision to get rid of the weakest ones, and I just kept this one here. And what I did to rectify the issue was relentlessly take off all the foliage. So I cut it right down to ground level across, let the new foliage come up. If that had marks, I cut it down again. I repotted it, I cleaned off all the old bases, I put a fungicide over it, a spray, and I fed it. And I did this several times. I fed it so it would grow leaves, come back, and if they were damaged I would get rid of them. And I've also got rid of all my other bananas, all my Morellii bananas, which I think might have been the cause of the issue. I got rid of those. I got rid of my Sycamensis and my Musa Baju as well, because they were looking poor, because I've had them for 15-20 years, and I think they've just come to the end of their life. And I wanted to focus on making the Ensete healthy again. I didn't know if it'd work, but I'm pleased to say that every single leaf that's come out on this plant this year has been beautiful and green. No marks, no blemishes, no issues whatsoever. And it's continued to do that from sort of March this year, when the first leaves started to emerge, because it's in the heated greenhouse, right now into middle of July. So this Ensete hiniba banana is looking as good as ever. It's only a small plant, this. It will get much, much bigger planted out in the ground, but for this year I just wanted it in the greenhouse away from pretty much everything else, and I wanted it to have a fighting chance of growing well if we didn't have a warm summer. But it's been a very warm summer, and this has grown really well. It probably would have grown well outside, but I wanted to give it that opportunity in the greenhouse in controlled conditions pretty much. And like I said, I fed this with seaweed fertiliser a couple of times. I've repotted it. It's in the same size tomato pots as the melons and the cucumbers, and I'm really pleased to report that it's nice and healthy. So if you have an Ensete or another type of banana with those marks, I'll do a link to the video below where I talked about these issues in more detail so you can see what I'm talking about. Don't give up on the bananas. Cut all the foliage off. Replace the compost, feed it, keep it warm, keep it growing. You might have to do this a few times, as I found out this was like 3 or 4 times where I let it grow a few leaves, saw the damage and cut it all off again. And it should come good, as I've proved in this case. So I'm really pleased to say my Ensete hiniba bananas are back, growing well, and hopefully in the years to come we'll be able to propagate this one and have lots more hiniba bananas for everybody else to enjoy as well. So that's my bananas, my melons, my cucumbers. Just a short video this week looking at those plants in the greenhouse because it's been raining outside. Hope you've been enjoying seeing the update on the plants I've grown from seed and also the update on my hiniba bananas. So thank you for watching this edition of Exotic Gardening. Join me next week. I'll be doing more in the garden.